Danger on Deception Island would be an excellent name for a soap opera, so let's get the love drama started. My OTP for this game is Andy Jason and Katie Firestone. I'm not sure why I think they make such a good couple, considering that they're business rivals who hate each other, to the point where he attacks her boat and kidnaps her? But darn it, I think they would work together! They both love whales passionately. They have similar fashion styles. I love the idea of them together. I love this idea so much that I wrote an Andy-Katie fanfic before I even started this Shipping Wars series. Here, let me read a sample from the fanfic. "You've asked me about your stupid offer over 1,000,000 times already," Katie snapped. "I'm sick of it. Every time you come here, you harass me about your dumb contract, and every time I say no. When are you going to get a clue and stop asking me?" Andy's eyes narrowed. "That's rich, Katie. When are you going to get a clue?" "What do you mean?" Katie asked. "I don't come here to ask about your business," Andy said. "That's just an excuse. The real reason I come here is to see you." "You? I'm crazy about you, Katie Firestone. I love everything about you, from your passion for whales to your form-fitting vest to those wonderful mayo and jellyfish sandwiches you make," Andy said breathlessly. "Someday, I want to be the baleen to your beluga, baby." "Oh, Andy," Katie said. She could feel her feet starting to melt. "You really mean it? You know you're the only one in town with a doctorate? Compared to you, everyone else here is an idiot, including me. I'm an idiot for denying my feelings for you," Andy said. He was close to Katie now, too close. She could feel his breath on her cheek. "Andy, I never thought I'd—" "Screw it," Katie said. "I want to be the mink to your doll's porpoise." She grabbed Andy's head and kissed him with purpose. Her day of frustrating mechanical problems disappeared under the strength of this unexpected passion. She hadn't felt this good in a long time, not since she got a high score on Feeding Frenzy. "Oh, wow," Andy breathed. He tried to back away, but she pulled his head back to hers and kissed him again and again. They didn't pull apart for at least 3 minutes. "So does this mean what I think it means?" Andy grinned. Katie grinned back at him. "I'll date you, Andy, but I still won't sell my business to you." "Ah, nuts," Andy said. "Well, I tried." Okay, I'm gonna stop reading the fanfic here. You get the idea. Andy somewhat openly admires Katie, and he wants to date her, Andy Katie, all the way. Jenna Devlin. It's hard to think who she would be good with because she's kind of a bland character. She's focused on her restaurant, and that's about it. She seems to like everyone except Katie. Now, I obviously don't want Jenna to date Andy because Andy should be with Katie. So let's say Andy goes out with Jenna just to make Katie jealous. Jenna hates Katie. She might go along with that. Jenna and Andy fake date each other for a while until they realize that Katie doesn't really notice or care. Now I want to write another fanfic. The only other option is Holt Scotto, and I don't think Jenna would want to date him. Unless that's why he's always at Jenna's restaurant. He's secretly dating Jenna. He's there even when he should be out campaigning, and he is so confident that Jenna will take care of his stuff, he leaves his duffel bag behind. He does this even during a crime spree. Doesn't that indicate he really trusts her? Or maybe they just did that because it was easier for the animation department if his bag never moves. I think Jenna secretly dating Holt is kind of a stretch, though. I'm going to throw someone random out there, Casey Porterfield. He comes to the Hot Kettle Cafe to check out the stained glass, and he finds he likes Jenna even more. Holt Scotto. I just talked about how he could be secretly dating Jenna. I think a Holt-Jenna relationship would definitely be good for Holt, not so good for Jenna. Holt seems too focused on his campaign to worry about romance right now. His top priority is helping out the town and the fishers. What about Holt-Katie? At the start of the game, he dislikes her for being so meddlesome and causing a fuss at the town meeting, but he still goes out of his way to save her and Nancy at the end of the game, which makes Katie so grateful she decides to vote for him after all. I like to think they end up as uneasy friends, not lovers. I think Hilda Swenson could be a good match for Holt. She's retirement age like he is, and she has Fisher-themed puzzles, just like he does. In fact, I'm kind of surprised he didn't solve her web of puzzles. That would be another good fan fiction. Holt solves all of the puzzles that Hilda left behind. She is charmed by his gruff manner. They fall in love. I still kind of think Holt Jenna would be neat, but Holt Hilda seems like a better match. She just needs to learn she's not crazy first. Katie Firestone. Okay, not Holt. He's too old for her, and I think she dislikes him more than he dislikes her. She inspired a massive hatred from Jenna, and she mildly dislikes Andy Jason's offers to buy her business. It's almost like everybody in this town hates her. The premise of the game is that Katie is George's friend, so that makes George the only person who likes her. No, wait, Casey Porterfield from the Maritime Library. Katie has his phone number memorized, so if it's not Katie George, then it's gotta be Katie Casey. Those are the only people that kinda like her. Nancy Drew. Her options are Holt and Andy, huh? Well, she gets along with Andy way better than Holt, but I don't like to see Nancy date culprits. This is a tough call, people. And Ned is not a phone contact in this game, so I can't cheat my way out by saying, oh, it's Ned! So, Kidnapper number 2. Kidnapper number 2 isn't a bad guy. He's just in over his head and he needs Nancy's love to help him out. Let's do that. Or alternately, Nancy with Casey Porterfield. Which brings me to the phone contacts. Casey Porterfield makes for a perfect backup boyfriend for this game because Andy and Holt aren't really good boyfriend options. Holt is a grumpy pirate while Andy is a strangling culprit. Yeah, those are not good romance options. So Casey should have a wide open dating field. Katie works for me because they both know each other and they like each other. They trade phone numbers and he's willing to put his job on hold to help out one of her friends. So Katie. Their names even kind of sound alike. Dr. Predivicu, the wood expert. I think Casey would be a good fit for her. In fact, he's the only reason you call her in the first place. They can have long dates, researching shipwrecks and crates. That sounds totally boring to me, but they would like it. Hilda Swenson, her husband died and she moved away, pretending she's crazy. I'm going with what I said earlier, Holt and Hilda. They're the same age and they both have a reputation for being crazy old people. So here's my recap. Andy Jason with Katie. Jenna Devlin with Casey Porterfield. Holt Scotto with Hilda. Katie Firestone with Casey Porterfield or George. Nancy Drew with Kidnapper number 2, Casey Porterfield with Katie, Dr. Predivicu with Casey, and Hilda Swenson with Holt. Yes, I paired Casey with 3 different people. Let's see what the internet has to say. Andy Jason with Katie Firestone, Holt Scotto with Hilda Swenson, Casey Porterfield with Dr. Predivicu, Katie Firestone with Andy Jason. I guess she doesn't hold a grudge over the whole kidnapping thing. Jenna Devlin with Andy Jason. Someone suggested Jenna with Dagny Silva, while someone else wants a love triangle with Andy, Jenna, and Katie, which would be more of a silly love triangle. It's more like Andy trying to date multiple people at once and then totally screwing up. Nancy Drew was paired with Other, again. Oh, you people are no fun. You never let Nancy date anyone ever. Hilda Swenson with Holt, so Hilda and Holt is the most popular ship of the game, which is kind of funny because she thinks he's one bum. Dr. Predivicu with Casey, because phone contacts have to love each other. It was suggested that she date Paliki Vadis, the werewolf expert from Curse of Blackmore Manor. They have similar accents. Henry Boulay Sr. was also suggested because her picture is reused as the picture of Henry's mom for Legend of the Crystal Skull. But the most important suggestion was that these polls aren't good enough, and I agree, when the game has more than 4 characters, somebody gets left out of the poll. And it's usually been the same sex options. That's not fair. So from here on out, I'm going to try 2 polls per character. We will see if that works better.